Okay, so this is the division of decimals, which is standard 5 MBT 7. And with most problems, I tell students to follow 3 simple steps, and those are convert it to unit form, solve it, and then convert it back to standard form. And so I'm going to show you a few examples here. 4 2/10 divided by 6. I'm going to convert that into unit form. So my smallest unit is in the tenths place. So I'm going to say 42 tenths divided by 6 ones. And we know anything divided by ones is itself. So my answer is going to be in the tenths. So 42 divided by 6, that's 7 tenths. And then I want to convert it back into standard form. So 7 tenths. All right, let's look at another one. So this 3 5/10 divided by 50 can be broken down. Since 50 is a multiple of 10, I can say 3 5/10 divided by 10 and then divided by 5. And that only works when things are multiples of 10 or 100 or 1,000, things like that. So 3 5/10 divided by 10 would be 35 hundredths divided by 5. And again, I would go back to that step 1. 35 hundredths divided by 5 ones. Hundredths divided by ones is going to be hundredths. I love to do the unit first because it makes me, I'm less likely to forget it. So 35 divided by 5 is 7. So I have 7 hundredths. And then I'm going to convert that into standard form. So 0.07. Just like that. All right, so let's take it a step up and get a little bit harder. Let's do 16 1/10 divided by 23. Again, I'm going to write that in unit form. So I have 161 tenths divided by 23 ones. Again, tenths divided by ones is going to be tenths. The problem comes in with the long division. And this one really isn't too long, but students are still struggling. So we talk about the division family. Dad means to divide, mom multiply, sister subtract, brother bring down, and Rover is either you're going to repeat it or you're going to have a remainder. So first thing I tell kids is even if a number cannot be divided by another number, you need to put a 0 in that quotient on top just to hold its place. So here I have 1 divided by 23. That's not going to work. I'm going to put a 0 just to hold its place. It keeps my work really nice and clean. Same thing, 16 divided by 23, not going to work. So I'm going to go ahead and put a 0 right there to hold its place. So now I want to look at 23 and 161. So I'm at division. 161 divided by 3. Well, I know 161 is about 160. 23 is about 20. So maybe 8 times. So on the side, I'm going to do 23 times 8. Just try it out. Too large. Let's go down 1. $161. Perfect. So put my quotient. Now we have to multiply. So 7 times 23 was 161. Now I want to go ahead and subtract, and I get 0. Nothing to bring down. So my answer is 7 tenths, which would be 0 and 7 tenths. Okay? All right, let's step it up even more. All right. Next one I want to look at is going to be 6600ths divided by 2200ths. And you can notice the difference here is I have a decimal divided by a decimal instead of a decimal divided by a whole number. But the steps are still the same. Convert it into unit form. Now, we know hundredths divided by hundredths. Think of it as 100 divided by 100. Well, that's going to be ones. So now I'm left with dividing 66 by 22. Think about that for a minute. How many times 22 can go into 66? And that's going to be 3. And so convert it back to standard form. My answer is simply 3. Okay. All right, last problem, and your magic word is going to be loose leaf. Loose leaf. Okay, so for this one, I'm looking at 11 2/10 divided by 14 hundredths. Use those exact same 3 steps. So I'm going to say I have 112 tenths. And I'm going to divide it by 14 hundredths. I'm sorry, that's not supposed to be hundredths. That's supposed to be tenths. I apologize. I apologize for that. Divided by 14 tenths. Okay? And we know, again, tenths divided by tenths is going to be ones. So now I need to use that long division. Okay. 1 cannot be divided into 14, so I'm going to put a 0. Same thing for 11. So now I'm looking at 112 and 14. And I know 112 is about 110. 14 is about 15. I'm going to try 7. So let's see, 14 times 7. 98. I can go higher. 14 times 8. Oh, 112. So here's my 8. 8 times 14. 112, subtract, and get that 0, and here's my 8 ones. So my answer here would be 8. All right, I hope this helps.